Hi guys, for those of you who weren't able to join us on our Half Watch Tuesday live on the 4th of December with Visitor Watches, we have this short review of the Linden watch which they kindly loaned us for a few days for us to test out. You can see the watch comes in this very usable 3-roll watch roll, and the guys gave us not just one but 2 watches to test out. So the watch on your left is the Dunshore, which was successfully funded in 2014. So happy 5th anniversary to Dunshore. And the watch that I will be reviewing is the Linden on the right hand side. So if I just take it out of its storage, maybe just give it a little wipe. The Linden is currently available on the Visitor website. It is a 39mm diameter with a lug-to-lug of 48 and a height of only 10.5. So a very wearable looking watch from the size of the dimensions. You will see that the watch has this deep cobalt blue dial, which doesn't really change much at different angles compared to the sunlight. You'll see you have these here very distinctive, very legible hour markers, and also these very, very distinctive hands as well. Now, whenever I asked what way Phil describes the hands, he said that they were fountain nib hands, and that's how they were inspired. And if I can get in closer, you can actually see, especially on the hour hand, that has that little line on it that looks just like a fountain nib. There is interest on the dial with these crosshairs, and if you catch the light just right, you'll just get a little shine from them, which is very nice. You have a matched color date window at 3 o'clock, which is very nicely done, and the Visitor logo just above. So all in all, a very legible dial. It's filled with super luminova, and the nighttime legibility is excellent, and the blue lim is actually very, very nice. Moving on to the bezel, is a fixed bezel with smooth polishing, which also continues onto the chamfered edge and then brushed at the sides. And you have nice elongated sides that come down into lugs that taper down but not aggressively so, and kudos for the drilled lug holes. It brings us down to the strap, and you'll see that we have a curved end on the strap. And just talking about this strap for a second, it is one of the best straps that I have seen shipped with a watch of probably a much higher price point to this. The stitching all is very, very good. It's a really nice color, and this has obviously been worn a while, and it has aged very, very nicely. And the inside is a nice soft texture, so that's actually a really, really excellent strap to ship with these. These straps are also available from Visitor. If I go up to the crown, it is not a screw-in crown. It is also a mixture of brushed and polished finishing, and actually it's quite nice just to have a non-screw down crown, because in rotation I do hand wind my watches regularly, and this makes it very, very easy. It's a nice feeling of the winding, it's nice and smooth, and the first click out, if I can, changes the date. The second one hacks and allows you to set the time nice and precisely. Power for the watch comes from a Miyota 9105 movement with a customized bezel, and this has been regulated by Visitor. And actually it's the first time that I have seen this movement in a case back, and actually the finishing on this movement is not bad at all, actually much better than I expected it to be. So actually it's quite nice to see this movement, and a lot of times with the boutique brands and the micro brands, they cover up the movements, but actually I think Visitor done a really nice job here. So let's pop this here baby on the wrist. Strap is super comfortable, and I have worn this watch pretty extensively for a number of days, and I have to say that day-long wearability is absolutely excellent. You can see that the lug-to-lug of 48 means that it stays nicely within the parameters of the wrist. My wrist is 17 centimeters in circumference, and it tapers down nicely. If I show you here, you can see that there's no excessive gaps, and it's nice and free from the hand, so no poking in from the crown. Really like this here watch. It sits really nicely, and often I forget that I have it on. Fits really nicely under a cuff, given its 10.5 millimeter depth. And actually, I would say that as a watch, it's very easy to wear. I couldn't call it sporty, I couldn't call it dressy. It ties a line somewhere in between. And actually, when I look at or think about what this watch looks like, I would say that it looks like a Visitor. You can't say that anything of it is derivative from other brands, and I think kudos for Phil for coming up with something that I think does look very original. Like I said, guys, these watches are available on the website, which is visitorwatch.com, and are available shipping immediately for $580, which I think represents the exact right price point for a watch like this, to give you something very solid, and something that actually works quite well within a collection, as there won't be many other watches like it, and whenever you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, this will be the watch to go for. So again, a big thanks to Phil for joining us on Half Watch Tuesday. Thank you all for tuning in as well. We have quite a lot more planned in the new year, and before that, we hope to see you guys all on Half Watch Tuesday. Thanks very much.